UFO filmmaker James Fox, with films such as Moment of Contact and The Phenomenon, two of my favorite UFO documentaries, has released a short clip on Twitter from his new documentary titled The Program. Okay, it comes out late summer 2024. And this clip features Dr. Garry Nolan calling out astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. What are they arguing about? Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson's position about the UAP phenomenon. So Dr. Garry Nolan is not too happy, calls him out, even calls for the removal of his PhD. So let's jump in and take a look at this clip. I also have a clip of David Grush calling out Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's from months ago, but I think it just adds some reference. And then I also have a clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson responding to David Grush about that. And then a couple other clips that might give us a hint as to why Dr. Garry Nolan and David Grush aren't too happy with Neil deGrasse Tyson. So let's dive in and take a look. It's going to get spicy, y'all. Look, if you're new to the channel and you like content like this, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day. And, of course, hit that like button, y'all. That really helps out the video. So thank y'all so much for the support there. And, of course, comment down below. What do you think of Dr. Garry Nolan calling out Neil deGrasse Tyson and calling for the removal of his PhD? It's getting spicy, y'all. So let's dive in, see what this is all about. So, again, I must say that James Fox doesn't specifically say, hey, this is from my new documentary, but what else is it from? Okay, if you've been following this, you know that he's kind of been teasing stuff out like this. So I'm going to put a link in the description from another video I made about James Fox and his documentary. He's actually having some trouble behind the scenes with financing, distribution, that sort of thing. So if you want to learn more about that, hit that video in the description. But here we go. So he teases this out. And again, you can tell it's on an editing software here. And again, you know, never seen this clip before. So it's clearly from his new documentary. And it says, Dear astrophysicist Neil Tyson, Garry P. Nolan from Stanford University has a message just for you regarding your position on the UAP phenomenon. Now, I actually interviewed James Fox about Moment of Contact, and I super enjoyed that because, man, those two films, Moment of Contact and The Phenomenon, really are great films. Whether you agree with everything that's in it, they're just well made and really give you an idea of what's going on. Especially Moment of Contact was great, man. I really super enjoyed that film. So anyway, let's take a look at this clip here.
The Neil deGrasse Tysons of the world.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very public figure. He is considered mainstream scientific community. A lot of people respect and listen to what he says.
I don't think he should be respected because I don't think he's acting in the best interest of science. I think he's broken his oath of science, and that, you know, frankly, if there were a tribunal of could you take away somebody's PhD, Neil deGrasse Tyson's PhD should be removed. When's the last time he's been invited to give a science talk? When's the last experiment he's published? Never. He hasn't. Why does anybody listen to him? Don't ask me. He bloviates. Sorry, Neil. He should be stripped of his PhD.
Ooh.
The Neil deGrasse Tysons of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Snap. He bloviates, y'all. Okay, anytime someone uses that against you, you know it's gotten serious, right? Once they reach the bloviate phase, bro, watch out. Anyway, yeah, you know, that's Garry Nolan, right? This is what we can expect, some of the stuff that's going to come out in James Fox's new documentary. What do y'all think about that? What do you think about, you know, him calling for the removal of his PhD? Is it that bad that he should have his PhD taken away? I don't know. I was kind of thinking, like, what if you, like, won the Super Bowl and then you just talk shit about football in the Super Bowl the rest of your life? Would they take away your Super Bowl ring? I don't know. And do you compare that to a PhD? I mean, you earned it. It's a degree. I guess you didn't win it. But you earn a Super Bowl win, right? I mean, you earn it by playing. I don't know. I just thought, I don't know. Is that possible? I don't even know if that's possible. I don't think so. Anyway, let's take a look at another clip. This is from Jesse Michaels documentary, right? That came out September, I think right over Labor Day or just past Labor Day. And in it, David Grush called out Neil deGrasse Tyson as well. And this is an uncut version of that scene that Jesse Michaels put out. So here's the tweet. It says, full unedited clip of Dave Grush challenging Neil deGrasse Tyson to a debate. Notable radio silence on the other side. Come on, Neil, retweet if you want this to happen. I'll pay $50K to charity of Neil's choice if it happens on my show. First of all, Jesse Michaels just got $50K thrown. I mean, who is this guy? If it happens on my show. So let's take a look at the clip. What does David Grush say?
I don't like throwing shade, but like Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's made up his mind. I've read his tweets, and I'm like, dude, you have a PhD in physics? Where's your curiosity? I can't even believe.
Yeah,
You're
same.
the big scientific communicator? Well, I think you should probably retire.
Yeah.
It's just smug.
It's just ridiculous.
It's smug, and it's I know everything, and it's I went to this elite university, so I have the credentials to like tell you what you should think, instead of exploring these kind of really exciting open-ended questions.
Shouldn't we count how many times he said that the universe was 13.8 billion years old and just be like, you were wrong every single time?
Yeah.
Credentialism, you know, and it's like, well, I have credentials too, and I'm happy to go toe-to-toe with you. If he wants to debate me, I'd be fine.
Let's do it.
Gary Nolan and I will debate Tyson. Who's that other, Brian Cox? Bring it. Bring it. I don't like throwing shit.
So I don't know. What do y'all think of that? That's kind of interesting, right? And he brings up Garry Nolan into it, right? So clearly they probably had some conversations about that. But so this is Neil's response to being called out by David Grush. All right. So he was on a show called Breaking Points, and Sagar Enjeti here, Crystal Ball, asked him about this. Props to Sagar. If you don't know, Sagar is big supporter of UFO disclosure, by the way.
I wanted to ask if you had any reaction to the UFO whistleblower. He actually came out just a couple of days ago, and he said, you have a PhD in physics. Where is your curiosity? I have credentials. I would be happy to go toe-to-toe with you. If he wants to debate me, I would be fine with that. So first, just any reaction, or if you have any interest in debating the UFO whistleblower.
We'd be happy to host.
Which we would host, of course. Yeah.
So I don't, you've never seen me in a debate on anything. Debating is not the path to objective truth. The path to objective truth is data. All right. So when two scientists get into a quote debate, there's an implicit contract between the two. Either I'm right and you're wrong, either you're right and I'm wrong, or we're both wrong. Mm-hmm. In a rare case, we can both be right, but it's very rare, and it's another, like we can be blind and touching an elephant. And elephants are these hard, ivory things. And you say, no, elephants are these stringy things, and you're touching the tail. We're both right, all right? Because we're talking about the same object. But in most cases, that's not the case. All right, so what happens when the two scientists, they'll have the conversation, and at some point they'll say, okay, we can't agree. We need more data to resolve this. Now let's go have a beer. Mm-hmm. So it makes no point to debate someone who's talking about classified information that nobody else can see. So what needs to happen is it needs to release the information.
Yes.
We did that in the Apollo era. We got moon rocks, brought it back, shared the rocks with the world, so everybody can investigate it and evaluate it. So if you have a result, the way science arrives at objective truth is not by debate, which politicians like doing. And by the way, I've never seen a debate ever where one person says, you convinced me, I agree, let's go. That has never happened.
Happens on this show sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes here.
We try to do a little bit of that here.
So my quick point is that all he has to do is release it for independent analysis. And in science, an objective truth is established by multiple verifications of a claim. And eyewitness testimony, sworn testimony, is irrelevant to science. We don't care what you saw or what you say you saw. We care a little bit. We'll make a note of it. But in the end, if I want to declare that what you said you saw, what you did see, is objectively true, other people have to verify it.
Yes.
And bring it forward. And so the aliens in Mexico, where they rolled them out, great. That's a start. I love it. Okay, you saw the pictures. I love it. Okay,
yes.
So now to verify whether this is true or a hoax, allow others to study your 3-foot-tall alien bodies.
Yeah,
okay?
that look exactly like ET.
Multiple labs, especially skeptical labs, study it and find out, hey, there's something here. Bada bing. We got 2 aliens that were hanging out 2,000 years ago. By the way, your nose is just an empty cavity into your skull. And so old mummies and things don't have noses. These aliens were bones the whole rest of the body, but they had a nose.
Curious.
There's nothing to put. What? How do you keep a nose?
I'm done with that clip. I don't really like that answer from Neil deGrasse Tyson because, and I'm going to show you a couple examples of why. Because he likes to say a lot of things, but then when someone's like, well, let me respond to you, right? Like, he doesn't want to face that. So, like, if you don't want to debate, then stop talking about it. Because you're debating one-sided, right? And he's kind of and maybe he knows this, but he didn't bring it up, right? He said, I don't want to debate because it's about who's right, who's wrong, right? That's not all what debating is. And a lot of it is more like, let's have a conversation. And the people that watch can learn from it, right? He's thinking very selfishly about how it would benefit him or not benefit him, instead of thinking about the people that might watch it, like us. You also have to remember within a debate, there's multiple debates happening. Incremental ones, you might have a point that you're debating within the larger debate, right? Does that make sense? And those can be won over, right? Where you go, you know what, that's a fair point, and this and that. But maybe overall your mind doesn't get changed, but you know, it moves the needle one way or the other here or there on certain things, or maybe you misconstrued something and now you understand a better part of the argument, this and that. A lot can be learned in what David Grush is suggesting. So the fact that Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, you know, I don't know the elephant that, you know, it's like, dude, I don't know, man. Again, let me show you a couple examples of like why they want to talk to him. Again, he's not afraid to go out and blab about it and then not want to have anyone in front of him that can push back a little, right? It seems like, you know, you're pushing down or you're punching down. All right, so here's an example of what I mean, of maybe why Garry Nolan and David Grush, you know, don't think too highly of them. Let's put it that way, diplomatically, right?
We have 6 billion smartphones in the world right now capable of taking high-resolution photos and video. There's 1 million people at any given moment airborne with windows looking out into our atmosphere, and your best evidence for aliens is some fuzzy lights that on classified video by the government? Really? We have 6 billion smartphones in the world right now capable of...
So again, will say stuff like that, but then doesn't want to have a conversation about it. Again, he's debating on his own, right? He's having debates on his own, but he doesn't want to have a debate with someone else. So it's odd when he says he doesn't want to debate. And I've heard him say that before on Joe Rogan and this and that, but he debates with people all the time. You see him debating in interviews, podcast interviews and stuff, the way, you know, anyway, just it doesn't line up. So I wish Neil would have done it, especially for charity, $50K, right? Go on the Jesse Michaels, just do it. I mean, you know, just... I don't, you know, you could have done it for charity. Match 50, put it in, right? Put your personal feelings aside and see what comes about. You could have, what you just said, you could have said at the debate. You could have said the elephant thing. You could have said, I can't debate you because of the classified. You could have said all that to his face, right? Again, so, all right, here's another clip.
Science, what people perhaps don't know is that eyewitness testimony is some of the lowest form of evidence you can bring to a scientific conference, which is odd because in the court of law, it's considered quite high. So here we are in these hearings thinking that the pedigree of the person delivering the information adds truth value to what they're saying. Whereas in science, part of what modernized science was our ability to create methods, tools, and machines to replace human senses in the reporting of what we experience. So I just need better data. It's what's harder for me to believe is that they came and no one has sharp video images of them. We have 6 billion smartphones in the world. And at any given moment, there's 1 million people airborne with a window looking out into the atmosphere. Science, what people...
So he clearly brings up that example a lot of, right, of basically the phones. He brings that up all the time, pretty much. I've heard that like 20 times. And to some extent, I understand it. But on the other side, it doesn't make sense. And he's like an astrophysicist, so you'd think he would think beyond that. But who knows? You know, I'm not smart, so I don't know. But, yeah, the fact that he won't sit down with, you know, or do, like he's willing to talk about them. Again, he talks about them behind their back, but he won't sit down face-to-face with them. Just don't say anything then, dude. Because you seem, that just seems, you know, sus. I'm not saying he's working against it. I'm just saying, like, come on, dude. It doesn't help to do that, to talk, to say all those things and then not want to meet with them, right? You're talking about their testimony, you're criticizing it, and then you won't meet them face-to-face to talk or Zoom to Zoom or something, right? Again, you could have done it for charity. A lot could be learned. So anyway, maybe it's just easier that way. I don't know. I'm curious to read the comments of what y'all think. Yeah, I can kind of tell a little bit of what they're going to be, which I understand, to be honest with you. So look, what I want to do right now is show you guys something for the channel. Okay, this is not, the video's kind of over, so this is all just going to be sort of channel updates. I wanted to show you guys this. Some fan art I got. There's a Reddit group called Disclosure Party, and there's a guy that runs it. His name is Clyde Chroma, and he sent me this fan art. Look at this. He drew this out with the vetted logo, and I thought this was pretty cool, man. And I've been posting my stuff in their Reddit subreddit. It's got like 13 or 15,000 subscribers. Cool little, you know, group of people that are, honestly, it's a breath of fresh air to be in there. It's definitely, you know, smaller subreddit, but they're trying to grow. And like us, right? Like vetted. But what I love about it is, yeah, man, they're just, you know, trying to have real conversations in there. I mean, forget trying to go on like UFOs subreddit or some of the other ones that there are. I don't want to name all of them, I guess. And it's just a nightmare. So honestly, you can get some better conversations in some of these smaller subreddits like this. So yeah, I recommend it. It's a cool subreddit. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check it out. And I just thought this was cool, man. Look, someone put in the time and effort to draw this out by hand, y'all. Pretty cool. And this is what they wrote. It says, I may be a bit of an old man in showing it here, but as a tattoo artist, pretty cool, most work I do is conceptualized similarly to how I approach tattooing, by hand. As a fun bonus, I like to include these hand-done stencils in art packages I craft for folks, as the most common question I get is, how did you do it? Well, this is a good start, exactly what I would need to tattoo it as well. He's saying this would make a great back piece. Can you imagine me if I had that tattoo on my back? Holy cow. I've only got 2 tattoos, y'all. I got where's the camera? Oh, you can't see my tattoo. How do I turn? There we go. Oh gosh. I got an arrow. Anyway, I did something called El Camino de Santiago in Spain. It's a pilgrimage you take where, you know, I walked 500 miles on foot in 30 days. And I got that tattoo of the arrow because you follow all these arrows. So anyone in Europe listening probably has heard of that. I did that in 2010. Anyway, and this is what he turned that fan art into, right? Digitally. How cool is that, man? Come on. That's pretty cool. I just love that it came from this, you know, and then he turned it into that. Pretty cool, man. So again, that's what it's called, the disclosure party for your dedication to UAP transparency and service to disclosure. Yeah, man, thought that was pretty cool. They put in time and effort for that. So thank you all so much, disclosure party. Clyde Chroma, thank you so much for sending that. Do appreciate it. Thank you all again for watching this far. Do appreciate it. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, y'all. We got a great video coming. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace. Let's try that again.